So while we're in the De La Riva position, I want to talk about how when the guard passer is starting to dismantle our guard and gaining inside control and looking to pass with a knee slice today. Once we're in that position, right, we're going to be focusing on how we can stop that knee slice, and then playing off our opponent's reaction. Option one is we're going to be lifting their hips up, transition to a wrestle up single leg. Option two is when they try and backstep, right, we're going to make the transition underneath our opponent and start attacking from a deep half position. So when we're in De La Riva, we have set up our control here. What's important for the guard passer, right, is the position of this knee. If my partner on top has kind of that internal rotation there, that's really good for a De La Riva player, right? I'm starting to collapse his knee. I can make my transition over. So what you'll see is a lot of guard passers is they will take their toes and they will take their knee and they'll turn it out almost in a direction of my knee. You can start to feel a ton of pressure on those feet right there. So next, what he's going to do is he's going to establish his grip on the inside of my knee. He's going to roll those knuckles down, right? So that way he's putting even more pressure. So with his knee going out and his hand pushing down, there's a ton of pressure. All he needs to do, without moving his foot, because I have the ankle, is throw his knee back, right, to start clearing that. Now what you can see is I have my distance leg right here, my frame leg, right? He's going to V-block the top of it. He'll take a small step back, stuff it, right? And then step forward, and now he's in this De La Riva position, right? If we're unable to establish our frames, right, hipping out to try and like get my leg over, right? That would be option number one for replacing our guard. But he's gotten to that point where he's winning that inside space. See how he's gotten his hand to the hip, right? Elbow is tracking my knee. So as I try and bring it over, he's following it. As I try and bring it under, he's here, right? So all is not lost. We don't want to get too freaked out in this position. Obviously, I'm not going to be lazy here. I'm still going to be assertive, and I'm still going to be vigilant. So as soon as I start to feel him bring that knee across my legs, I will let go of that ankle, right? My goal is to replace that control. I don't have the control of my hand anymore, but I have my knees pinched, and I'm crossing my legs and bringing my heels into control. What my goal is going to be is to make sure, one, I deny his underhook. Because once again, if he gets that inside space, it's pretty tough, right? Once he turns his knee out to the side, right? Go ahead and cut your knee to that side. Yeah, see how he'll start to get nice and low, and it's a really big battle. So let's reverse a little bit, go back to headquarter position. So he's won that inside space right here. What my goal is going to be, right, is as he tries to get that knee across, shooting it in and keeping that knee to my chest. So I've denied his underhook with his right arm. I have my arm going behind the knee, and then I'm going to be gable gripping so I can pull that knee nice and tight. I have control of his ankle with my legs. Let's go and turn this way. So you guys hopefully can see, right, with my legs crossed, bringing my heels in to capture his foot and ankle, right? With my hands clasped around his knee, I'm not allowing it to move outward. Move back this way. So you see how he can't move his knee, right? If he's sitting back heavy, right? Sit back on your heels. Yep, hands on me. That's fine. Good. See, he's here trying to pass, right? My goal should be stay focused on keeping my chest on his knee, so that way he can't cut his knee and pass. Now what I want to do is I want to start off balancing him. So you see my top leg up here, right? I want to start working my feet and heels to the mat. You see how as I walk heel toe, ever so slightly, it's raising up Ian's hips. He's already taken a couple steps, right, to help maintain his balance. So as I'm raising him up, I can also take that knee and get a really good push on his hips, forcing that hands to the mat. Once my leg is up, I want to maintain and utilize this momentum, so I'm going to throw that heel to the mat. As I do that, hip icing my grips around. Very common reaction when you're in this dogfight position is Ian is once again trying to retract his position and now overhook. So if I stay here too long and his head is higher, he's going to roll that right shoulder into my shoulder, be really heavy, and start to escape his leg. So what I want to do is I need to start applying my pressure too. Notice how I'm going to match his hand on the mat, right? I can get my hand on the mat. I can also get my foot up, right? Once I have that position, my arm that is around the leg is going to transition to his hip, because I'm actively trying to push into him here. What's going to happen is my hand that's on his back is going to go palm up. And I want to exploit the space underneath his arm to come through right here. when he overhooks my arm, right, it's hard for me to pull it out, especially in the gi. Think about a Chinese finger trap, right? If I just pull on it, go tight, right, that friction of the gi is not allowing me to pull it out. But if I rotate, I bring my thumb to me, and I'm gonna go underneath where there's space, immediately then pressing off this foot to help me get my chest on top. We start working on breaking them down and taking them back. So it's all about anticipation and meeting your partner's knee where you know they're gonna go. So he's dismantling that De La Riva, pushing down, right, clearing the hook, dealing with that, getting in that headquarter pass position, right? There's a little bit of space right here. That's what I'm looking to exploit. As he goes for his knee cut, I'm shooting it through. All right, let's turn this way so they can see the orientation of my feet. So notice how I'm pinching those knees over his ankle, crossing my feet, and then bringing my heels in. As long as they're sitting down heavy and they're trying to grip fight and trying to open you up, that's where we use our floor jack, right? My leg right here. If his hips are up a little bit, right, he's a little high, we can just take that knee and bump it into his hips to help off balance, rocking ourselves up to that single leg, right? As he reaches back, going to that hip, hand on the mat, foot on the mat. Big push here, and watch how now I'm bringing my arm out and then covering. So one more thing that we want to talk about too is whenever we are working on our off balances, our sweeps or wrestling up, if you can't go one direction, we always look to go the other direction. Our left versus right principle or right versus left. If I start knocking on one door trying to successfully complete a technique and my opponent shuts that door, let's look to change and try going the other direction. So what that means is Ian has looked to initiate that knee slice. I've gotten to this position down here, right? As long as I maintain control of that knee and his ankle, right, he can struggle all he wants, right? But if he's not buying, right, if I'm unable to get his hips up, right, it's gonna be hard for me to wrestle. So a common thing that this guard passer is gonna do is take that left foot and kick it back, right, almost to try and get to that back step position. Go ahead, back step. Right, turning, right, and now he's in a reverse half guard position looking to pass. So I can utilize, once again, some of that anticipation. Turn this way a little bit, right? So there's a bunch of space right here. As he's trying to switch this knee to the opposite side and back step, go ahead, right, I'm capturing and I'm following. Go, 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 yes. Right, so see how that leads me into that deep half position, right? Now from here, right, I want to be bringing my knees to my chest because I want to get a better grip. If he's able to free that knee, I'm in a bad spot with my deep half. So I'm stuffing that knee with my hand, right, and I'm going to be opening that leg up to capture nice and high. My free hand here can help me cross post. So that way I'm always maintaining some off balancing here. Now I want to gain control of Ian's right leg. So with my cross post, I keep my inside leg controlling over, and I'm gonna pummel this leg underneath, and I wanna be at the Achilles. What that's gonna allow me to do is as I off balance, I can use my right leg to start getting it closer to me so I can control, right? Once I have control, that ankle pulling it nice and tight. Now from here, I wanna start the rock, right? So my back leg is helping me get moving. Once I have him moving, my left leg is gonna help push, helping me roll all the way on top. And now, if you guys look, we're in a very similar position to hit that over-under pass. We could always release and always go chest to chest as well. So working on that anticipation for that deep half is important. Once they hit that knee cut, right, controlling that knee, right, I have my hand over the knee. As I feel him swap that knee and try and go that far, I'm grabbing, following him to make sure I get to that position, right, using my hand as this cross post to help keep them up, making sure I'm controlling nice and high on that leg. When I pummel, right, I'm pushing that leg out to the side so I can gain control but pulling tight. Start your rock. Once I have that rocking going, right, then it's a lot easier for me to push. And I'm just rolling over that. Can you go back? Come this way. Notice how, turn. Watch my right leg, a little bit more. Turn. Yes, right here. That transition of coming up, right? I start with my rock, and then I make sure that I bring my heel in nice and tight so I can roll over my shin, right? So that's a very quick transition, rolling over the shin, allowing us to enter into our over-under pass or continue that half guard passing.